Hello, guys. So, I am moving on to my next topic. And if you haven't seen my first introduction video to my channel, as I mentioned before on that video, that this channel is just really just my journey, being a single mother, uh, my story of, my bad relationships, bad decisions, bad choices, the outcomes, basically my past, present, and future. And hopefully, you guys tune in long enough and this channel grows, and you guys can watch me and my family grow and watch God change my life. Uh, So I have been going back and forth and kind of debating and asking God, like, what I should talk about. And, because really, like I said, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I don't know how true that is. Only God knows. But I have 1,000 things in my head I could talk about. Whatever's on my mind, whatever God puts on my heart, and whatever I feel is uh, need to be said or I want to release or say. So today, and not just today, just really for the past, Lord knows how long, the past few months. Um, and I'm going to attempt to not get emotional because, like I've mentioned before, I am a sensitive person, and girl, I will cry. But I'm going to try not to. But if you saw the video about my story, you know that I was homeless recently, me and my kids, and we was staying in a hotel for a while. Just came out of a covert narcissistic relationship, and um, I haven't gone into a lot of detail on my past before then, but let's just say I've had a kind of a roller coaster of life, I guess. Not the best luck in love. Um, not really knowing what it feels to be completely, um, I want to say stable. I mentioned before that I have like dealt with drugs and that kind of thing. So yeah, I went through a lot of things that, uh, situations that I put myself in, mistakes that I made on my own, and just other things, from other people, you know. But anyway, so just now that God finally gave me a home, and I have a car, and me and my kids are back together because for a period of time, me and my three daughters, which are my younger kids, was staying in the hotel with me, and then my son stayed with a friend of the family, which I'm very appreciative because he's a bit older, and I know he wanted to go stay in the school he was at, and it was just easier. But I didn't like us being separated as a family, and also obviously didn't like being away from my son. But now we're all back together, which is awesome. Um, but I am in this place of waiting. And if anyone knows what that feels like when you've gone through, or at least you thought you went through the season of change and isolation, and uh God took a lot of stuff. He stripped a lot of stuff away from me, and I know why. I'm not angry or upset about any of those things. I understand, because if we hadn't lost that house and he didn't put us in that hotel, I probably would have still been in a dead end relationship. I would have still been in this relationship with this man that was never planning on actually marrying me, dangling a ring over my head like a carrot, making me chase him basically and do whatever he wanted me to do to make him happy while I am not feeling fully fulfilled, and being with a man who is secretly jealous of me, that really doesn't like me that much, but just want me around because my presence makes him feel better because I was idolizing a man. So God removed a lot of stuff. He removed me from that relationship. He removed the house, and he put me in a place where all I had and all I have is him, where it should have been, you know. Um, he's even put me in a place where he revealed the hearts and the people around me, even in my family. And that's a whole nother subject because I love my family and my family's always been there for me. I can't say that they haven't. Somebody can be helpful to you and still be there for you while also look at you as below them, or um, you know, those who have ever been or felt like the black sheep of the family, or the one no one wants to hear from or listen to or pay attention to. And maybe that played into a lot of why I made decisions that I made, looking for love in all the wrong places. you know that's a whole therapy session. But so now I'm in a place where I'm just trying to figure things out. um been filling out job applications, and honestly, in my heart of hearts, I feel like God closed that door a long time ago. I believe I mentioned this in the video when I was telling my story. As soon as I got this place, I was working basically part time at like a warehouse kind of job, which was cool. I actually liked the job. They were really nice. I mean, I was surprised they kept me as long as they did because with my living situation not being stable, I had there's a lot of days I had to take off, leave early, come in late because some days I was get kicked out the hotel and I had to move my stuff to another hotel, or I couldn't have find the money to pay for it. So then I had to DoorDash that day in order to get enough money to make sure my kids had somewhere to go after I got off of work. And some days it just didn't work out, so I had to stay in the car. I was surprised they kept me as long as they did. But as soon as I got this place and moved in, that's when they let me go. And I was, at this point, I've already went through so much. Staying and sleeping in my car. My oldest daughter stayed by my side. They had my parents. They could go stay at my parents' house, but they wanted to stay with me. And God specifically told me not to go back to my mother's house. And I know a lot of people thought that was crazy. A lot of people was like, "Why don't you just go to your mom's house? Why don't you go back to mom's house?" And God was telling me not to. He told me not to go back there. Um, it just wouldn't have made the situation better. While people think going back to your parents' house is sometimes the solution, but because God was doing more with me than just physical things, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like working on me on the inside. And he's like, right now, I need you away from this, and I need you away from that. I need you away from them. I need you away from, because if I was the same spirit that that man was carrying, those spirits are also in my family. Like I said, I realized that that narcissistic spirit has kind of followed me in different people, and he was trying to move me away from that. And so he was like, "No, don't go back to your mother's house." So I was doing everything not to go back there. With all due respect to my mom, and my mom and my parents are always been there the best that they could. Um, like I said, my kids stayed over there when they could, but my oldest daughter, especially, they just wanted to be with me. My kids always wanted to be with me, even they always still wanted to be around me. So sometimes my daughter would stay in the car with me, and she's like, "No, I want to stay with you." She didn't care. None of my kids made me feel bad or complained or was like, "Why can't we have?" They were just so sweet and loving, and God softened their heart, and it just all they just wanted to just be there for me. And I needed that because I don't have anybody else. Outside of my kids, it's literally just me and Jesus. Like I said, my family are good, and I love my family. But I don't even know how to explain. If you know, you know. Sometimes even family is you have to put a kind of a line or draw a line, and that's just how that works out. So I lost that job as soon as I moved here, and God put me in a place where it's literally just me, my kids, and him. And mind you, before I lost this job, and this entire time while I'm door dashing, grub hubbing, staying at this hotel, staying in a hotel, borrowing money from people, there was an agency that, God has sent that ended up paying for like the rest of the hotel stay for like 3, 4 months until we finally found this place. Um, and also, I was working at part time for there, door dashing, grub hubbing. While I'm doing all of this, I'm still filling out job applications for months. I think I was homeless, or we had left the house, lost the house, I believe in June of last year, and we finally moved here in February. So the entire time we were in a hotel, in a car, whatever. So, um, as soon as I got here, lost that job. And because I had been through so much all last year, and God had just been showing me that, like, basically, like, don't need this, you don't need that, you don't need this. And He was just taking stuff away from me and removing people out of my life and just really showing me things. I was like, okay, I guess this job got to go too. So when she told me to drop my key off, I didn't get upset. I wasn't worried. I mean, I didn't have a lot of income anyways. So it was like when I realized, I was like, ugh, I just was like, well, that just means God has something else for me. I'm not even worried. He took this job because He's gonna place something else in its place. I just dropped the key off the next day, like she said, and go on about my business. And I did it with a smile on my face, with pure joy, like not even actually really worried, because God had me in the place where He's just like, I just need you to lean on me and trust me. So that's what I've been doing. Since then, I haven't really been able to find anything permanent. I mean, I was looking and filling out 20, 30 applications a day. Like, you know how you go on Indeed and you can even just do the click ones? Like, it was to the point where I'm just like, just applying. Either I would get no response, or I had like one really good interview, and I know the interview was really well, and I thought I was going to get the job. And then they said they would hear from me, or I would hear from them like 2 weeks or something. And I called 2 weeks later because I didn't hear anything. And um, the lady in the agency just said, "Hey, we don't know what happened. They never even hired anybody. They just the actual job opportunity, they closed it. Like they didn't even hire anybody." So I think it was just because the person who was supposed to be moving out of that position, maybe they didn't move because that was the position I was supposed to be taking. So even for a while, because nothing was happening, I just stopped applying for a little while, for at least like a month, because I'm like, okay. I started working on a different project, which was great, and I really appreciate the job and everything. Um, Nothing came out of that, and I was like, okay, Lord, what do you want me to do now? Just what do you want me to do? Um, so like, Lord, if you want me to go back to, because I always say faith without works is dead. I am not here just praying and expecting God to just lay $1 million on my lap. You know, I'm praying, reading my Bible. Not great at fasting, but I most definitely keep trying and trying and trying, and I'm going to continue to keep trying until I get better at it. I was able to at least do 1 week without food at all, but most times I do like the 6 to 6 fast because I take medication, and usually that makes it harder for me to not eat because I'll get nauseous. So, um, yeah. And then on top of that, I started my YouTube. I'm like, okay, God put that in my mind, and at first I was like kind of questioning it, and I'm like, well, maybe it's just me. And then I started dreaming about it. And I was like, okay. And in the particular dream, I was in the dream saying that somebody might need to hear it. Somebody's gonna need to hear what you're saying. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I'll go back to it. I'll keep at it. Um, as far as like my little small business, I continue to make stuff, but without income, I can't keep like a lot of, I guess, supplies. And if I'm not really selling anything yet, um, you know, basically. So, but I haven't given up on it. So I still work on my little business, still, make my little ideas. Um, and I was hoping to use this channel to kind of generate some customers that way and everything. Um, yeah, I am in a place where I really am just at a standstill. And I know I'm not the only person who is going through this or has gone through this. Um, I refuse to curse God. I refuse to turn my back on him. And I'll continue to have faith. I guess my main concern is I'm like I got PTSD because I literally can't go through this again. You know, my kids can't see me go through this again. I'm by myself. So it's like, how are you going to do that? Or everything was together because it was you and this guy. But now that he's not there, you're not going to be, how are you going to keep it together? When really it was mostly me keeping it together while we were together. But now I am completely uh, by myself. And I'm okay with that part. I'm really okay with being alone, or being single because I'm not alone because I always have God. I'm just saying, um, it's just hard, you know? It's hard. Um, but I have to, every day I get up and I have my moments like now where I get worried, I get stressed, and I try not to. Um, but I know troubles don't last always. And there's a reason for every season. I know that what I'm going through uh, is leading me somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know what the point for all of this is. Because I feel like I went through all of that for him to pull me out of all of that. And then to feel like I'm going in that same cycle again. To feel like I'm back there. When it was me and my ex and we were going through all of this, um, I had the mindset of just like grinding, whatever it is you got to do, just go out and do it. So I'm door dashing, I'm delivering flowers, I'm grub hubbing. I was working that part-time job, and I would just apply for jobs, and whatever job that would come or respond, I'm gonna just do it because I need to do it. Just kind of running fast, but getting nowhere. Like that's what I felt like I've been doing for the past 6 years, just running, quickly running towards just running just to keep myself from falling every day, to find out that I really wasn't going anywhere. working and running and working at all these jobs that were barely still helping me pay my bills, obviously. Um, but really not really getting me anywhere. You see what I'm saying? Like I felt like I just been running and trying to just doing something to say that I'm doing it. Working to say that I'm working while still not getting anywhere. It's just to still end up in the same situation I would end up in if I wasn't working at all. So now I feel like God put me in a spot now where it's like, I don't want you to do that again. I want you to lean and depend on me. And like similar to those situations where a lot of people say God told me to quit my job. And it's like, okay, Lord, what am I going to do? I'm good at my job now. How am I going to pay these bills? I mean, I'm literally sitting here trying to figure out how I'm going to pay my rent. And I'm just going to be completely honest. Like, that's the kind of person I am. I'm an open book. I have nothing to hide. I will be completely honest and real with people. Um, that's where I'm at. That's literally where I'm at. So I feel like God has put me in this spot where He wants me to go full force, I guess, on this YouTube channel, my business. I mean, I got to do what He put in my hands to do. If I can't get a job or I'm not getting hired, I can't sit and do nothing. So I'm doing what He put in front of me to do. Go out and feed the homeless, drop off food and waters and drinks, when I'm out, when I can. Um, uh, work on my YouTube and work on my little small business. He tells me to do something else or something else comes through. But honestly, when I'm filling out these job applications, and at this point, I'm really just getting things off my chest. I don't even think there's really a point. Like, there's no resolution that I'm getting to at the end of this video. I'm just talking. And I thank whoever's watching for listening if you've gone this far. But I mean, when I'm even filling out these job applications or even looking at them, there was a time in my life, like I said before, I've done so many things, but especially retail and warehouse is where I have the bulk of my experience. And when I see those warehouse jobs, there was a time where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. I actually looked forward to jumping into it. I wanted to do every inventory control. I wanted to do inventory control because I know I could run the entire back of the warehouse because I've done it before unofficially, but I know I could actually do it if somebody would just give me a chance. But now I'm looking at these same jobs and I feel like I don't even belong there. Not that I'm above it, because I'll do it if I have to. If one of them call me back and God allows me to get the job, I'll do it. But um it's just like I feel like I'm not in that place anymore. It's like I feel like I'm past that. Like I really like seriously feel like I'm looking at this and I'm like I can't see myself here anymore. Like I feel like I definitely outgrown this part of my life. Like I am no longer in that stage. But I'm like I need to be at somebody's stage because I need a paycheck. So, but this is what I mean by God has all the control. Um, yeah. So now this is just where I'm at, a part of my journey. So I just wanted to be real. I just wanted to come on and be real, really. What's going on in my mind. I guess what kind of made me think about it or really break down was because it's 4th of July and my son is with his friends. He went out to hang out with his friends and everything. And it's summer. And because everything that we've gone through, excuse me. Okay. All right, got myself together. But because of everything that we've gone through, my son's birthday was in January. My youngest daughter's birthday was also in January. Their birthdays, the 18th, 19th, right next to each other. My middle daughter birthday was in April, and my last daughter, oldest daughter, birthday was in June, right after school let out. And I haven't even been able to really celebrate their birthdays, which is something that I always do. It's never super extravagant, you know. I just like to do something different for each of their birthdays, whether it just be going to the beach or something, to show each of them individually that I love them. And I I've been promising and wanting to take them just to the beach, just to do something for them. So it's 4th of July. My son has gone out. My other two daughters are with my mom. And, you know, my daughter's like, she wants something to do. She wants something to do. And as much as I want to do something with my kids really bad, I can't. And that just simply hurts. Okay. I am trying not to be like bawling, crying. Okay. But yeah, it just simply hurts. So that's what, you know, made me think about this and just really want to be honest and just talk about, you know, I think a lot of times, you know, we see on social media people just kind of post a lot of happy videos and look at me and look at this and you know, or just trying to show, you know, look, I'm a, you know, I can do this, that, and the third, I'm every woman or whatever. And you know, sometimes knowing that somebody else out there is just having a bad day just like you know, sometimes you just need to be real. Everybody's life is not perfect, and everybody's going through something. So, for all of my single moms out there, and you know, women, men, or whoever is going through the same thing, struggling, let's keep each other in our prayers. Do not give up on God, because He will not give up on you. And even when you feel like you are dragging, just know tomorrow's another day. And if you can't be grateful for anything else, just be grateful that your eyes are open right now. And you have a chance, another chance, to make it better. If you can't do what you want to do yet, just do something. Just keep doing something to keep your mind occupied and making small steps towards wherever you want to go. And make sure you're asking God to lead you there. Let His word be a lamp to your feet. He has plans to prosper us, not to harm us. And be still and know that He is God. You are not alone. Thank you guys for listening. And happy 4th of July. And I promise next time you guys see me, I'll be smiling. Good night.